Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 103.
103.
Of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by Theme Park Connection in Orlando, Florida.
Very, very exciting. They are currently off in Pocono, Pennsylvania, sponsoring the Reed Sorensen NASCAR Cup car. So all the way through Daytona, they'll be having that sponsorship. I think that's pretty cool.
And you'll get to see it in person.
That's right. Maybe you also, if you decide to come with me to Daytona, if your foot heals.
If my foot is getting better.
Properly.
And also Pixie Vacations. They are our official travel agency.
That's right.
They have concierge-style service, great knowledge of the parks, and they'll get you as good a deal as they can. And they are giving us a Disneyland Paris segment again this week.
I love these Paris segments.
I do too.
Very exciting.
I love Paris, and
Can't
you
wait
have not been yet.
Hopefully this year, like we said. Hopefully.
So that will come later in the show.
But now we have something so exciting. You have been waiting so long for this. We went over to the Portofino Resort over at Universal, and we finally got to check out the Minion Suites.
Right. This is Portofino Bay. It's one of, now 4 Loews hotels at Universal.
And now I like the fact that the joining room is a first class fancy room, nice for adults. You know, you would have no idea that this is connected to the Minions.
Right, and I was surprised at that. I knew they had called them kid suites, but
they're the first sign of it, right?
Yes, they're not really totally kid suites. I mean, you have a luxurious room, but see, we were authorized Minions on this day,
yes,
so
luckily
we were able
authorized
to go inside. And I've been trying to, they've been sold out. They have 18 of these great Minion Suites, and they've been sold out, so it's been hard to get a tour. So we're very excited about it.
And these missiles are not damaged. You'll see that they have some scratches on them. That is how they are meant to be. When they were delivered, the people that were delivering them thought they had damaged them.
I thought that too. And then she said that was part of the themings, and I thought that was great. So, and there's Gru's chair.
I love it.
I would totally, I don't know if I'd want which room I would want. Because
if you only had one night and you had to pick a place to sleep, are you going to sleep in a missile or that nice, luxurious king bed?
Maybe I could do 4 and 4.
No.
I'll probably have to do the Minion room.
You know you're going to be in the missile.
I would
love
the
I would make the kids sleep in the bed.
There's no kids.
Well, if there was, I'm saying.
We'd get the kids.
That's right.
Somebody else's kids.
That's right. But I think this room is fantastic. I'm a sucker for the details. We've been to the Art of Animation, all of the Art of Animation rooms. We just went to the Cabana Bay rooms, which are themed. But I don't know if you can beat the theming for this.
And you can see Gru's scarf is here and the one in a Minion pillow. I think you're going to be going a little closer up on here.
That's right.
And again, like the other room that you saw is a standard view, that's their standard view, their standard room.
Right, that's right. And what I like about this missile bed here is when you first look at it, you think you might not fit if you're an adult. But I think this shot will kind of show you it's sort of hollowed out and your feet can definitely fit unless you're a tall basketball type player.
And these are custom made beds. I love the eyes over.
Goggles.
I think they should sell all of this. They don't.
Do you want this in the house?
Yes,
room, like a Minion guest?
Course I would. No, I'd want it in our room actually. But yes, I would. I actually would want it.
And again, very much attention to detail. I think we're going to see some lighting that are very Minion-like, like in the laboratory, that kind of thing. I love all that. I just think it's fantastic. And now, what are the prices? Do you remember what these go for?
Yeah, if you look online, you'll see it averages about $600. And before we visited it, I was like, well, that's a lot for a family suite. But the thing is, again, you get the standard luxurious room, and then you get this room. It's about 675 square feet, which is actually quite large. And what I really like is that, unlike a lot of other family suites, it is, the adult room is really an adult room.
Right, that's true. It's a regular standard, it's a classy room, so if you aren't someone like us who loves the Minions, you could still have your nice, classy room too, and the kids can have
Right, not every parent is going to want to sleep in a Minion, in a Minion bedroom.
And another good thing I should mention is the kids cannot get out. The only entrance and exit is through the adult half of the room. So it's sort of nice for security reasons. Nobody's sneaking away at night.
And one of these days, this is something for me that I would like to eventually stay in, maybe just for one night. Again, we love the Minions, but I also love that other room too.
And the Portofino Bay was absolutely gorgeous. We walked around. We thought it was a beautiful hotel. I definitely want to spend some more time there.
And we ate at Sal's Market Deli, which I don't know if I've ever eaten here before. And the food was surprisingly good for counter service.
Outstanding.
Excellent. Like, we would come over on the boat from Universal just to eat here.
No, not would. We will.
We will.
We absolutely will. It was, I would say it's the best pizza I've had in Orlando.
I would
That's
agree
true.
with that.
That is true.
And this is your chicken parmigiana. And if you look at the prices, the pizza was $15 for a large margarita, and this was $11.99. But we took more than half of our food home. So,
Yeah, and we had
you know,
three meals out of the
we
deal.
did. So it was actually, it's actually a very good value, I think, for what you get.
So also last week, Disney's Typhoon Lagoon celebrated their 25th anniversary.
And there am I in the scooter.
Oh, yes, there you are. I didn't even realize that. This was June 1st, and it was very exciting to be there for the 25th anniversary, although the weather did not cooperate fully.
Lagoon was the operative word.
That's
it
right.
rained almost the whole time.
Well, typhoon also was an operative word.
Not quite typhoon,
That's
but
right.
Mickey was out here
This was a
for
highlight.
just a little bit of time, and Minnie, I guess, was out, but we never got to see her.
This was at the very beginning, before all the rain happened. We made our way over here. They had a throwback to 1989 Bay Breeze drink for only $3.50.
Right, and it actually was very good. I don't know if they really had a Bay Breeze in, 1989. I don't remember.
I don't
that
remember.
far
I don't know
back.
if I was really drinking the Bay Breeze back then, but I don't know. I thought it was wonderful. That was the highlight
It was actually
of
very
the
good.
celebration. Although this is a deceiving-looking cupcake.
It looked very plain. It was free with the entree purchase, which I'll say the entree was not very
The
good.
cupcake better than the entree.
The cupcake
It
was.
actually
I would have bought
really
the
good.
cupcake and just left the entree
I
alone.
have to say, the cupcake, very good. We did not go for the blue Hawaiian because it did not have the 1989 pricing.
We don't spend a lot on drinks out of the
$8.25
house.
for the blue Hawaiian was not to be for us. But we had a great time anyway. Even though it rained, we kind of had a interesting day. We still had a good time.
We spent a lot of time sitting in the shop.
Yeah, that delightful
For,
air-conditioned
hours.
air-conditioned shop. But there was occasions of swimming to be done. Not by us, of course.
No, we didn't
but,
swim.
But the highlight was meeting the mouse. I love to meet the mouse. It's always fun for me, so that was great. Next thing, Ohana. We went to Ohana to try the new menu. The menu has changed for the dinner feast, and we're going to get into that. They usually start with the coconut bread, and they make a production out of giving you your first.
They always have done that.
Yeah, that has not changed.
Ohana used to be one of my very favorite restaurants. Our last time we went there was awful.
Horrendous.
The service was terrible. It took like 3 hours to get through.
Much better service this time.
The service was better this time, but I'm just going to say I was not a big fan of the new menu.
We disagree, and this will be a fun segment because I actually really enjoyed Ohana. But we have different tastes in food. I liked the spicy glaze that was on most items. And look at the fire pit. How can you not love the fire pit?
Yeah, but if we go to Fogo, you can get 15 different meats. Not that we eat 15 different meats, but at least you have the choice.
I don't need 15.
I don't.
You know what you cannot get at Fogo? Shrimp.
I don't
Warm,
eat,
hot.
I don't eat
the
shrimp,
thing. You do
so
not
that's
eat
fine.
shrimp.
I don't eat pork. There's no chicken anymore.
Here we go. Here's a close-up of the coconut bread.
Okay, this was
We ate.
this
Each
and the
had a
dessert
loaf.
were
By the
my
way.
favorite.
Did you not eat a full loaf? Of
I
bread?
don't think I ate a full loaf, but there wasn't much else for me to eat.
Pork
so.
dumplings. They lost you at the pork.
Right,
But
I
the
don't
dumplings were good.
It was okay, but look how oily they are. I'm not really I don't like my dumplings to be that oily.
They are tossed in garlic ginger sauce. You like ginger?
I like ginger, but I like it fresh, not oily. No, really. I use ginger in cooking curry items and such.
Now this was not a success for
Okay,
you. Wait, let me set it up. The vegetable lettuce wrap with hoisin ginger sauce. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but there's ginger involved in that.
When we dined over at Loews Portofino Bay, the Emeralds, last week,
Yes.
everything looked spectacular. And I think that dishes should look good.
Presentation.
Presentation
this did
is
not
key.
lead up to the Denise.
And I
it did
didn't
not
like
look
it
good.
either.
I admit it. I liked it once again, and for some odd reason,
I
our
like the salad.
came after we had the appetizer.
I will say I probably ate a bowl of salad
Yes.
because it was very good.
Now, this is interesting. This is something that still happens. You have the ukulele player who entertains you with music at part of the evening, and then they have the coconut races. Now, the coconut races was like an NHL hockey game here. It was.
It made me very nervous because of my foot.
You still had the broken foot that you couldn't walk on at the time.
Right, at that time, like, I can walk in a boot now, but at the time, I couldn't walk yet.
This looks like a fine environment for a injured foot.
And we were on the edge,
Yes,
so, like, sometimes you'd have a ball go under the chair.
Not a ball, a coconut.
A coconut,
hard
sorry.
coconut.
And, the kids would, like, take their broom and sweep them under the chair, so I had to lift up my foot.
Oh, boy. Okay, now we're going to look
May I say also, I don't think this presentation, I think maybe a platter would have looked nicer instead of a plate. But this is like the noodles.
Well, this is the honey coriander chicken wings, stir-fried vegetables, and noodles tossed in a teriyaki sauce.
I didn't like the noodles, and I've never really met a noodle I didn't like. And I know you liked everything.
I loved it. I thought the chicken wings were great. I liked the sauce, and I enjoyed the noodles. I have to admit one thing. Presentation, not good.
Not as good as it could be.
We're starting with the skewers here, and this is the sirloin steak.
And for me, there was too much fat on it, so I didn't really like it as much. I like grilled chicken. They also used to have grilled turkey at one time.
They did.
I could eat a lot of that. I love chicken and turkey on the grill.
Oh, here you go. This is pork.
I didn't eat that.
Sweet and sour
But you
pork
liked
loin. That was not my favorite of everything. I would say my least favorite was this pork loin. Also not the finest presentation.
Oh, it was okay. I mean, the
this,
skewers
how
are
can
fine
you not
with
like
the presentation.
That is the highlight.
I don't
My
eat shrimp.
recommendation, if you like shrimp, only take it if it's hot. I learned this from Mark Richardson, a wise man, the CFO there, and he says always have it hot. And
As
he's
for the
right.
hot.
He's right. If it's not hot, send it back.
No, don't send it back.
True
Those
story.
poor shrimps still gave their life to be on your plate. No,
But that was wonderful.
But
and
you
you have to
liked it
conserve your
either way.
eating for the shrimp.
But I don't eat shrimp, so
That's true.
I conserve my eating for the salad and the dessert.
Now here's another nice bonus. If you time it right, you get to see the fireworks from the Magic Kingdom if you are seated in a correct place, which we weren't. So I walked over to the corner.
We could see a tiny bit, but not
Yes,
too much. It
just
was
to
okay.
demonstrate.
It's not like we've not seen Wishes before.
Yes,
so
we've
it's
seen
not...
it one or two times in the past. But I just wanted to show that if this is something that you'd like, they pipe the music in, they turn the lights down, and you watch the fireworks.
And dessert arrived as you were taping, and we're like, okay, well, the ice cream is starting to melt.
Yeah, that's why in our little dessert clip, the ice cream looks a little runny. So when it showed up, it was not as melted as this. And then you pour the caramel on it.
This is Ohana bread pudding a la mode.
A la mode. I like a la mode.
And it's very good. I think that they've always had good desserts here, although I know a lot of guests miss when they had the pineapple with caramel sauce.
So overall, I would like to go back again. I would enjoy.
You can go with Mark and Ryan.
I know.
I don't need to go back.
So we have a different thumbs up for me, thumbs down for you. But again, it all depends on what you like.
I'm going to go somewhere I can get chicken.
And this is the last time we'll have ever seen. This is our very last view of the waterfall. It's now completely closed off, and they're in the process of reimagining the lobby.
And right, so now we're heading to Star Wars weekends.
Yes, Star Wars weekends. Yesterday, June 6th, we went for Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill had 2 events. So you could see he was in the Legends of the Force Motorcade and a conversation with Mark Hamill, and we were at both.
And this was his first time ever being at Star. I mean, this is a big deal, and the parking lot wasn't that busy, but every single person apparently was wanting to see Mark Hamill.
It was on the real news on TV that night.
Right.
Mark Hamill comes to Disney.
It's a big deal having him here.
And I tell you, the fans were so excited for him. I mean, people were lining up at 7 a.m. for the parade. We got there an hour and a half early, and we probably got the last rope spot.
And he seemed excited to be there. Like, I'm surprised then that he hasn't been here before, because he really seemed to love...
He seems to love the fans. He seems great for the fans. And this was the celebrity welcome. And it was funny to watch Mark look at James Arnold Taylor, because he sings this whole elaborate introduction. And Mark was looking at him like, wow, this guy has a lot of energy. At least
he does have a lot of energy. James Arnold Taylor is pretty amazing.
And it's hot. It's super hot out there. And he's running around singing all these songs. And I don't know. I was impressed by him, as I always am.
He goes from morning to night, like he doesn't stop,
So this is, again, the big celebrity welcome, your chance to take the photos with all the characters. And, of course, the first time ever.
And the actors.
The actors, too, of course. And the first time Mark appeared, so I thought it was pretty exciting to see.
And Billy D. Williams also in Ray Park. I mean, it was a big weekend for the celebrities that they invited.
Now we're also going to see little people don't always know that the celebrities have to go back somehow. So the motorcade does return the way it came. So here comes Mark.
And Jedi Mickey also,
Leads the way with all the other celebrities. But you're going to tell a funny story.
Well, okay, Billy D. Williams, some guest runs out and gives him a high five, which you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to go any parade.
Right.
And then the next one goes, the same guy goes and he
look
goes to
at
high
the driver.
five.
The driver's like, no high five.
He's like, but the Mark Hamill's like, sure,
Yeah,
okay, hello, where did you go? And then he shrugs it.
The next picture makes me laugh. He's like, I don't know.
Well,
I don't know. And you notice that Mark is with the band, by the way.
Yes,
He's proudly displaying the
him and
magic
Billy
band.
D. Williams both. wore the band.
Everybody.
I just thought that, but don't go into the road.
Well, we must mention we went to Momma Melrose for lunch between the two events, and we saw the Mark Hamill,
from
very
like
much
30
older
years ago.
version.
That's what all the pictures are like 30 years ago.
So anyway, we're going to set up a little thing. This is Mark Hamill answering a question with James Arnold Taylor. Here it is.
We have time for one last one? Let's take a look. Sure. Could you do a short dialogue between Luke and the Joker, where Joker tells Luke not to put you on the spot or anything. I mean, that's kind of... Well, to get warmed up. Look, it's me. The Clown Prince of Crime. And also your father. No, that's not true. That's impossible. Get used to it, kiddo. Paul Dini is a wonderful writer. Paul Dini wrote some of the best Joker episodes. And all these years later, lines pop into my head like, without that man, crime has no punchline. It's like, wow, crime has no punchline like it needs one. He's just wonderful, because let's face it, it's the dark night that made me the happy camper I am today. How I agonized over how to thank him for that. Perhaps with a cyanide pie in the face, or this floating whoopee cushion playfully placed in the Batmobile.
And this is just the taste of the conversation with Mark Hamill. It was really good. It was a fantastic presentation.
45-minute show, and we have it all on YouTube. Also, the motorcade we have on YouTube.
Yes, we have the full motorcade and highlights of the motorcade, as well as the celebrity welcome. So check it out. And again, we thoroughly enjoyed Star Wars weekends. I guess we'll call it Mark Hamill weekend, because that's what it sounded like.
Even though Ray Parkin and Billy D. Williams were there also, and they're no slouches in that category either.
That's right. So another great Star Wars weekend. Only one more to go. Make sure you get out your Darth Vader popcorn bucket and
it's great.
get ready.
We have one now.
That's right.
And we were invited to a press event for what will be the tallest roller coaster in the world off of International Drive in Sand Lake, and it will be called the Skyscraper at Skyplex.
That's right. And it's going to be opening in 2016.
It's supposed to break ground next year.
And look at this. You can see the concept art. The coaster kind of comes around over the street. So when you're driving down the street, you're going to see, wow, that looks pretty cool. It's a coaster, sort of like Vegas in the New York, when the coaster goes over the road.
Well, that's a retail complex down there also with shopping and dining, and there is an observation tower. And this is supposed to be about 570 feet tall.
Thrilled Mayhem, they call it. There's going to be looping, all sorts of
Inversions and such, right.
It should be incredible. And one thing that they did is they allowed the reporters to go up in a helicopter to simulate what it looks like from the top of this thing from 570 feet. And I had never been on a roller coaster, or I've been on many roller coasters, never been on a helicopter, but for this I got to try it.
And I just want to say also, it's supposed to go at about 65 miles an hour. That's about the
speed. 65 miles an hour, 1,000 people an hour. So it's pretty crazy. Anyway, here we go. We're getting into the copter. You could could have gone, but because of your foot, it would have been too difficult for you to get in. I think you were a little scared of it.
I was a little
anyway.
nervous anyway, but I wouldn't have been able to with my boot, I wouldn't have been able to do it.
That's right. So here we go. We're going up. Again, I had never been in a helicopter. I was a little scared, but more excited because it was something new. And I've done the small planes and things, but this was very nice. I would like to go in a helicopter again.
You would.
I thought it was actually very fun. The pilot was very professional, telling us all about it, telling us when we got to the 570 feet. And I think you're going to see off in the distance very shortly the Orlando Eye. Right.
And that was something that they mentioned several times.
There it is. There's the Orlando Eye right up in the left-hand corner.
Just within a couple of miles or so.
So right here is 570 feet above the ground. This is what it's going to look like as you're about to go down the first drop on the roller coaster.
This is taller than Characters in Flight, which I believe is in the 300 range.
It's pretty high.
Yeah.
It looks very scary. So anyway, that was that. It was really fun. I am looking forward to this. And the little red dot there is you.
And then I was like, I need to sit because of my...
I thought it was very nice you were waiting for me to land.
I was.
So that was good. Also, the Marketplace Co-op. Why don't you tell us about that?
Well, we're not going to say too much because we're going to actually do a section on it next week.
Right.
But the Marketplace Co-op surprisingly opened very quickly, just like yesterday. And they have some great merchandise, a lot of Adventureland merchandise, Orange Bird. I mean, there's actually 6 sections of the store. One of them is D-Tech, which we'll see. This would be part of D-Tech, but they have like D-Tech on demand. I don't even know.
My wallet is hurting just watching this. It's in much pain right now.
And this would be beautifully Disney. And they have what they have is Cherry Tree Lane, D-Tech on Demand, Trophy Room, Centerpiece, and Beautifully Disney. And I expect that a lot of people will be spending a lot of money.
We will be there soon, and we'll have a full report next week.
We haven't been yet.
And another thing, Car Masters Weekend is coming. You can see they have the topiaries from the Flower and Garden.
Right, the Epcot Flower and Garden Festival, and you can see Mater here with Characters in
Flight
in the
yes,
background.
It looks a beautiful, beautiful day. Also, you'll see that there's a little tribute, A113. That is a tribute to a classroom at Cal Arts.
Right, and John Lasseter and Brad Bird both attended animation classes
That's
there.
right. Brad Bird said he has a tribute to that in every episode of The Simpsons and also in the Pixar films, too.
Right, and Lightning McQueen is also here, but we're going to be looking at the poster art for Car
Masters Weekend. Yes. Yeah. And the most exciting part of Car Masters Weekend, special appearance by the Family Truckster. The Family Truckster will be there.
So Steve Griswold of Pixie Vacations and the Griswold Vacations will be bringing his car, and we'll be there for a little bit at some point.
We'll be there hanging out and chatting there with him. Also, the new Starbucks coffee opened. I like the grass on the roof here. It's a very nice Starbucks.
It is. I mean, it's got some nice patio seating as well.
But this was the best part. They had this magic chalkboard where you're seeing the people in Anaheim, and there's some kind of shenanigans going on behind us.
It made us laugh.
So now it's another segment from Disneyland Paris by our friends at Pixie Vacations.
Right. I love the castle here, Sleeping Beauty Castle, with the dragon downstairs.
Right. I have not been there. I know you have. So we're going to let our good friend Steve Griswold tell us about it, and we'll be back in a minute.
Today we're going to go on a tour of the castle over at Disneyland Paris. We're going to go inside to Sleeping Beauty's castle. This is kind of one of my favorite hidden gems over at Disneyland Paris. A lot of people don't take the self-guided castle walking tour, which has the story of Sleeping Beauty inside as you walk around, and then has something kind of hidden underneath the castle as well. So when you walk up the stairs, you have the story of Sleeping Beauty all throughout the castle. It's in the stained glass windows. You have tapestries on the walls that tell the story, and then you're also going to see there's these little storybooks in front of different little interactive stations that also guide you through the story of Sleeping Beauty. Now, underneath Sleeping Beauty's castle, of course, what else is there except a dungeon? And in the dungeon, there is a sleeping dragon. This is something that's also a lot of fun just to go in. There's a couple different ways in from the outside, and then there's also a way in through Merlin's shop.
Okay, I'm just going to say this is pretty awesome.
Well, I really love the dragon, in the castle. Obviously, it's like unlike any other castle in America or Tokyo, anywhere.
Yeah, it definitely blows my mind. I can't wait to go and check this out in person. I mean, we've seen a lot of dragons. We've seen the Phantasmic Dragon. Now I know this is Sleeping Beauty's castle. Is this a Maleficent type dragon?
I actually
Probably not.
I
but-
never thought about it like that. I just thought, okay, dragon in the castle. So I have no idea if it's supposed to be Maleficent or just a dragon in the
just
castle.
because
As a bum.
dragons perhaps live in castles. So, but the animatronics is fantastic here. I mean, I don't know. I'm very impressed, and I imagine I don't know the answer to you. Was this here the entire time at Disneyland Paris? Did it open with this?
I think it may have opened with it because I know it used to be one of the most popular attractions in the park, and it still is. But before Space Mountain, it used to be like the third most loved attraction, I just read, in the park.
Well, anyway, thanks very much to Steve Griswold at Pixie Vacations for providing that segment. Again, they're our official travel agency. Check them out. We have a link on Mousesteps. And also we want to thank our sponsor, Theme Park Connection. And we'll be doing quite a bit more with them coming up, especially with this NASCAR connection.
I know
we
it's
have.
very exciting. You're such a big NASCAR fan.
Anyway, that's another show. And we will see everybody next week. Thanks very much.
Have a great week.